Coming up next on TVM-News, an Idaho judge has denied an alleged murderer's attempts to exclude DNA evidence from the trial against him. Plus, officials in Stroudsburg have captured a fox that was wreaking havoc in the area. And a man who died after a home exploded in Luzerne County has been identified. All that and much more coming up on TVM-News.
Good afternoon and welcome to TV-Marywood News. Today is Friday, February 21st. I'm Kyle Driscoll.
And I'm Caitlin Klotz.
Today we have news about Stroudsburg officials capturing a vicious fox.
And we'll be checking in with weather anchor Alexia Bauer and sports anchor Vincent Goldschmidt to find out the latest in Marywood and professional sports. The exhibition Art History Teaching is taking place in the Maslow Study Gallery for Contemporary Art from February 8th to March 19, 2025. It is on view, opening in conjunction with the opening reception for the duration of the Scholastic Art Awards in Manning Gallery. Bernard and Hilla Beckler, Evelyn Hoffer, Barbara Caston, Denny Moores, Robert Rosenberg, Dan Rizzi, and Kenneth Nelson are featured artists on Saturday.
The Office of Student Engagement has announced that applications for orientation leaders have opened. New student orientation will take place in late August. Students can find the application form in their Marywood email. Applications close next Friday, February 28th at 4 p.m.
The performance of Natasha Pierre in the Great Comet of 1812 musical will be held in Sette Laverghetta Center for Performing Arts, Room 100 from 7:30 to 10 p.m. Any questions, email rhauser@marywood.edu.
Marywood's Office of Career Services announced they will be hosting a career fair next week. The fair will feature representatives from local companies, job recruiters, and information about internships and local job opportunities. The fair will be held in the Nazareth Student Center from 11:30 to 2:30 on Wednesday, February 26th.
This past week, compassionate canines came to Marywood-University. For more, we go to Mary Pegarella.
Do you ever feel stressed or anxious? Could you use a little cheering up? Or are you even just a lover of all things cute and cuddly? Well, then keep an eye out for the compassionate canines. These very friendly therapy dogs make periodic appearances in the fireplace lounge of the Nazareth Student Center. Feel free to stop by between classes to relieve some stress when they are out and about. Make sure you check your Marywood email for more information about the next session and follow @Marywood Activities on Instagram for more fun offerings.
When we come back, we'll tell you about a vicious fox that was captured in Stroudsburg.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
When the Teen Titans go to the movies, they know the best way to travel is safely. To keep your child safe, be sure to use the right car seat for their age and size.
Exactly.
Hollywood, here we come! The Atom has arrived! Have a seat, my dude.
For more information on finding the right seat, visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Impressive.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Stroudsburg officials have successfully captured a vicious fox that attacked residents. On Wednesday, the Strasbourg Area Police Department were dispatched to a fox attack report on Kangdong Avenue. Officials determined the fox came in contact with multiple residents in the surrounding developments. The Game Commission has secured the fox and is currently testing the animal for rabies.
The gym at Lehigh Area High School brings back a lot of memories for Lori Meal. It's now a space where she keeps her son Damien's legacy alive. He was 20 years old when he was killed in a car crash near Jim Thorpe in 2019. So his family honors him with a game of basketball. Damien just loved his time here. He loved his time on this court, and we're thankful to the high school that we're able to play here where he played his ball, said Lori Meal, Damien's mother.
5 employees from the Steamtown National Historic Site lost their jobs this week as a result of federal government workforce spending cuts. The site is one of Scranton's biggest drivers of tourism. Among the staff cut were maintenance workers. As a result of the cuts, operations at the site will have to change. Steamtown officials have not yet released a statement regarding the layoffs in Scranton.
The Lackawanna County Coroner has identified a victim of a fatal crash in Roaringbrook Township. Loa Rinker, 18, of Covington Township, has been identified as the victim of a fatal crash on Route 435 shortly after 5 a.m. Saturday morning. Rinker was a senior at the North Pocono High School and loved by many. There is currently a GoFundMe page out for donations to the family.
A paper plant in Hazleton has announced it will close this April. The plant informed its 107 employees that they will be out of work come spring. The plant, which is a part of the International Paper Company based out of Memphis, says that the move is a part of a larger layoff affecting 3 other plants. The Hazleton plant will close on April 14th.
Child abuse is an alarming issue happening across our nation, and one nonprofit is working towards raising awareness about it happening in our area. A pinwheel signifies childhood joy and playfulness, but the blue one being held by Shannon Peduto represents child abuse prevention. Every year in Luzerne County, there are over 3,000 reports of child abuse happening in our community, so it's very important that we keep our doors open, so we are here to help these children and these families.
The man who died after a home explosion in Luzerne County has been identified. Authorities say 32-year-old Aaron Moore was found dead after his home was destroyed in the explosion. The flames also affected a neighboring house. Authorities are still investigating the cause of the explosion in Sugarloaf Township.
2,000 street signs will be replaced in North Scranton, Green Ridge, East Scranton, and the Plot section this year. It's all part of the City of Scranton's expansive street sign project announced by Mayor Paige Cognetti.
When we come back, we'll tell you about how the FBI stopped an attack on a high school in the Houston area.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
When the Teen Titans go to the movies, they know the best way to travel is safely. To keep your child safe, be sure to use the right car seat for their age and size.
Exactly.
Hollywood, here we come! The Atom has arrived! Have a seat, my dude.
For more information on finding the right seat, visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Impressive.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Planned Parenthood workers shared horror stories of working for the nation's largest abortion provider in a news report as the organization faces renewed calls to cut its federal funding. In a bombshell report by the New York Times published Saturday, over 50 current and former Planned Parenthood executives, consultants, and medical staff from affiliates alleged they worked under terrible conditions with rock-bottom salaries, even as the national organization roped in millions of donations after the fall of Roe v. Wade. Clinic workers said it was common to run out of critical medical supplies, including pain medication.
A judge in Idaho has denied alleged murderer Brian Koberger's motions to exclude DNA evidence from the trial against him. On Wednesday, Judge Stephen Hipwer made rulings that will now allow the prosecution to use DNA, cell phone records, surveillance footage, and even Amazon purchase histories to be used as evidence. Koberger is being tried for the murder of 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022. The trial is set to resume in August. If found guilty, Koberger could face the death penalty.
A deep-sea anglerfish that was recently spotted in shallow waters has captured the hearts of hundreds of thousands of social media users in recent days, and the photographer who spotted it recently opened up about the creature's fate. David Harabogan, a marine photographer affiliated with Condric Tenerife, a Spanish conservation organization, posted a video about the viral anglerfish on February 13th. The fish was documented swimming vertically in shallow waters less than a mile from Tenerife, the largest island of Spain's Canary Islands, earlier this month, but the menacing-looking photos did not capture the fish's true size, Hara said, as the deep-sea creature was only about 2 inches long.
Amazon MGM Studios announced this week that it has gained creative control of the James Bond film franchise. Current series owners Michael Wilson and Barbara Broccoli have decided to step away from the franchise while remaining co-owners. Amazon, which spent over $8 billion buying MGM Studios in 2022, nabbed the rights to the Bond films in the deal. The studio plans to continue the franchise and are currently searching for the next actor to play the lead role.
Former NFL punter Chris Klue was arrested after protesting at a city council meeting in Huntington Beach, California on Tuesday. The reason for Klue's protest revolved around a sign proposed for Huntington Beach's public library, which would have had the words magical, alluring, galvanizing, and adventurous next to each other. The words spell out MAGA. Through hope and change, our nation has built back better to the golden era of making America great again, the signage reads.
The FBI has stopped 2 Texas teens from enacting a planned attack on a Houston area school. According to Spring Branch Independent School District, 2 female suspects made online threats to place pipe bombs and shoot students at an area high school. Both the teens are in custody, and authorities say at least one of them is facing a terroristic threat charge.
Leonard Pelter, the 80-year-old activist and remorseless killer who has been in prison for just shy of 50 years in connection with the 1975 ambush shooting that left 2 FBI agents dead on a South Dakota reservation, is headed home. His first stop is expected to be a welcome home party at a reservation casino. According to the NDN Collective, an indigenous rights group where supporters plan to celebrate his release from what they claim was a wrongful incarceration. Today, I am finally free, Pelter said in a statement, thanking supporters released by the Collective after he left a federal prison in Somerville, Florida. They may have imprisoned me, but they never took my spirit.
Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell has announced he will not be seeking re-election next year. Senator McConnell has been a senator for over 40 years, beginning his first term in 1984. He would go on to be the longest-serving Republican Senate leader in history. McConnell has not cited a specific reason he will not be running.
Up next, we have a story about freezing floods in the South.
This is a disaster, and it's not getting any better.
Sharon Pearson of Clarksville, Tennessee, is among 100 million people under extreme cold alerts, stretching border to border from the central U.S. and heading east today, with some temperatures plummeting 40 degrees below average.
You look out through here and you think there's a lake. That's not.
Flooding across parts of the mid-Atlantic from storms last weekend is not expected to crest in some areas until tomorrow. In freezing temperatures, that poses even more threats.
We're, concerned about, freezing pipes.
I worry that now our floors are going to buckle.
Cities in Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas breaking multiple cold records, including one from as far back as 1905.
I have seen so many times where we were promised snow and we never got it, and this time we actually got it.
Coastal Virginia and downtown Norfolk snapped a 1989 daily snowfall record with over 10 inches. Neighbors celebrated Wednesday night with an impromptu snowball fight. Snow-covered roadways, however, are another story.
Unnecessary travel not only puts you at risk, but also the public safety personnel, power crews, and DOT workers that will need to respond if there is an issue.
Most winter storm alerts will expire by tonight as the snowfall moves offshore, but forecasters warn the frigid cold could stick around through most of the weekend. In Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Right now, we'll check in with this week's weather with Alexia Bauer. Over to you, Alexia.
Thanks, Kyle. This week is looking cold with some sun. Today's high will be 26 and partly cloudy with 20-mile-per-hour winds. Tonight, temperatures will drop down to 13. This weekend will be in the high 30s and lows in the 20s. Next week will start off in the mid-40s and will have lows in the high 20s, continuing with some cloudiness and possible snow showers on Thursday. With your TVM weather report, this is Alexia Bauer.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
When the Teen Titans go to the movies, they know the best way to travel is safely. To keep your child safe, be sure to use the right car seat for their age and size.
Exactly. Hollywood, here we come! The Atom has arrived! Have a seat, my dude.
For more information on finding the right seat, visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Impressive.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
With TVM Sports, Vincent Goldschmidt has the latest in Marywood and professional sports. Over to you, Vincent.
Thanks, Katie. Starting on the hardwood, both Marywood basketball teams clinched Atlantic East Conference playoff spots. While the women's team was clinched since their win versus Marywood-University, the men's squad entered Wednesday vying for the last spot in a win-and-in situation as they hosted Marywood-University. The last time the Mighty Macs made the trip north, Tim Schulteis soured a Trevor Seitz game-tying three, sealing the victory from Marywood. Entering the matchup, Seitz trained an insane triple to knock off Marywood-University on Senior Day. The momentum from the monumental three carried over as the Pacers knocked off Immaculata. Marywood is set to face Centenary University on Monday, but are waiting to see if they have to make the trip to Hackettstown or host one final game this season. Speaking of hosting games, Marywood Women's Lacrosse hosted its home opener Wednesday afternoon as the Cougars of Misericordia traveled north. The devastating junior duo of Caitlin Smith and Avery Meehan feasted on the Misericordia defense, combining for 7 goals, including these back-to-back scores in the fourth quarter to clinch the victory. The countdown for baseball season is nearly over as the Pacers stampede south to take on the Rosemont College Ravens in their season opener tomorrow. After a program-tying 22-win season, head coach Jason Thiel has high hopes for his squad.
Obviously, you want to win every game. And a lot of times those non-conference games during the week really get you guys ready, see live pitching, pitchers get ready to lead up to those 3 conference games. Last couple of years we've lost. We haven't sort of closed games out. We've lost 4 or 5 conference games last year by a run. Some of them late, some of them we just lost early, didn't get guys in early when we should have. And those losses add up late for you when it comes to pushing for the playoffs. So I think this year we really put that emphasis on every game matters. Don't give games away.
Debut year of the Four Nations, fans across numerous countries roared for the alternative to the NHL's All-Star Weekend. The United States, Canada, Sweden, and Finland sent the best of their natives to participate in the mini-tournament, previewing the potential of the Winter Olympics set for 2026. After battling through the group stage, Canada and the United States faced off in the championship. When these two met previously, the United States bullied Canada, earning a 3-1 victory. In the early going, Canada came out firing, with Nathan McKinnon drilling the first goal of the game just under 5 minutes in. Fortunately for the United States, Brady Tkachuk would answer, knotting the game at 1 apiece. 7.5 minutes into the second period, Jake Sanderson grabbed the lead for the U.S. Sam Bennett would tie it back up later in the period, and after no goals in the third, overtime was needed for the tournament's finale. Despite the United States having numerous scoring chances, Connor McDavid would ice the game, netting the game winner as Canada would take the inaugural Four Nations tournament 3-2. After a 16-year hiatus, arena football was anticipated to return to Northeast PA, with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Mavericks set to join Arena Football 1. Unfortunately, it was announced that the team would withdraw from the league just weeks before their season opener against the Corpus Christi Tritons. There is no report on what is in the future for the franchise. With the latest in sports, I'm Vincent Goldschmidt. TVM News will return after these messages.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
When the Teen Titans go to the movies, they know the best way to travel is safely. To keep your child safe, be sure to use the right car seat for their age and size.
Exactly. Hollywood, here we come! The Atom has arrived! Have a seat, my dude.
For more information on finding the right seat, visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Impressive.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
A special birthday wish marked off one person's bucket list item at the rare age of 104. Let's take a look.
A 104-year-old birthday girl got a very unique wish granted for her special day. She got a visit to the Slammer. Don't worry, this Western New York woman's visit to her local jail wasn't against her will, but rather a lifelong bucket list wish come true made possible by the Livingston County Sheriff's Department, who welcomed 104-year-old Loretta with open arms and shiny leg irons. Loretta got to see how the other half lives, spending time inside the booking room and a holding cell before getting a full tour of the facility, and even enjoyed some B-Day coffee and cake with her willing captors. The department later shared pics on social media calling Loretta a great sport and sharing her secret to longevity, which was, quote, "Mind your business." Another special guest was found in a very unique place, and it was bananas. No, I mean, it was bananas. That's where officials say this venomous cat-eye snake, normally native to South America, was found, spotted inside a New Hampshire grocery store's produce shipment. New Hampshire Fish and Wildlife says the slithery stowaway was unharmed and healthy and was relocated to a local reptile rescue organization. Finally, a marsupial with the munchies has gone viral in Nebraska after officials had to hospitalize an opossum they say heisted, then housed an entire Costco chocolate cake by itself. The chompin' chocoholic was found on a homeowner's back porch, panting heavily, surrounded by the cake's remains. Officials say it will be fine and will be released following a little rehab. Social media users sympathized, saying when it comes to eating your feelings, sometimes an entire chocolate cake is just what the doctor ordered. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
That is truly amazing. Kyle, would you rather know when you're going to die or how you're going to die?
No when, so I
When?
tend to prepare.
When do you think it's going to be?
Ooh, I'm not living past 30. Calling it now.
Oh, all right. Mark the books. We got an answer. That's going to do it for this week's edition of TV-Marywood News.
Make sure to like and subscribe to the TVM YouTube page to see all of the latest TVM content, and follow the TVM Instagram page to stay up to date with everything TVM has to offer.
For Vincent Goldschmidt, Alexia Bauer, and everyone at TVM News, I'm Caitlin Klotz.
And I'm Kyle Driscoll. Have a great weekend, Marywood.